Members of the Main Event Mafia, what's going on? Appreciate you guys, of course, becoming a member here on the YouTube channel. And I promised you guys a little bit more of a behind the scenes, an exclusive look at what we do here on YouTube and what I really wanted to do when it comes to these videos here that are members exclusive. I wanted to be able to present it in a more authentic and real approach. Not as much edits, but something that seems more along the lines of like a real conversation between you and I, right? There's a lot of things we could talk about here on pro wrestling and here on YouTube. But I like the idea of having like an intimate, real conversation with those who are as invested as I am. Many times you're going to see on the YouTube channel the occasional list, the occasional reaction, of course, the J Area Wrestling Podcast, which airs every Monday. But with these kind of videos here on the membership, I kind of want to talk about the inner workings of how I feel about pro wrestling, about the channel, about life, really. What I really enjoy are the channels where you kind of get to know the person more, on a deeper level, and you kind of see how their mind works, how they develop this creative process into what they're trying to achieve. So for the main channel, you see a lot of stuff that is a little bit broad. I want to be able to connect with a lot of people in the sense that, hey, we're talking pro wrestling this day, we're talking about this topic this day, and there's a little bit of something for everybody. But when it comes to this, I like to take the feedback very seriously. I try to consider your guys' needs, your guys' wants, and your guys' interests when it comes to these videos that are being made. That's why I said, upon joining the Main Event Mafia, you guys get really the first priority. Because I look at your guys' stuff first. Your names, your usernames, your profiles, they pop off the screen. So I immediately recognize people like Sylvia, people like Gabs, Alex, Mama Ramos, San Fran 5. You guys are the first ones that I see. And as we continue to grow the Main Event Mafia, we're looking to expand the other opportunities. I would love to do exclusive live streams when it comes to this membership. Something that only you can participate in if you have access to the membership. There's a lot of possibilities, but it takes a little bit of time because we're trying to build up that community. We're trying to build up that level of momentum that has been doing pretty well for the last year, 2 years maybe. And like I said, with you guys, I've always tried to have been very transparent. And I feel like these videos here on the membership end of YouTube kind of gives me more of a sense of comfort into not really being portrayed as like the pro wrestling guy who talks strictly about what's going on in WWE or the struggles in AEW. But it's a way for me to kind of remove the curtain and just be Jose, just be me. A lot of times on these videos, it can be a little bit daunting because of the process that it takes to record a video, to edit a video, create a thumbnail that will attract enough attention and hopefully grow the channel to a point where you and I can enjoy the company of many other like-minded wrestling fans, or maybe not even just wrestling fans, but just people who want to talk about wrestling, or people who want to get into the inner workings of wrestling. There are people out there who may not have been real diehard fans of pro wrestling, and through some sheer luck, they found the channel, and it's kind of an opportunity for them to learn along with us. I've always made it known, I don't care what background you come from. I don't care if you're a new fan, if you're an old fan, if you are open to the idea of talking about it, learning more about it, there was a spot for you. There was 100% a spot for everybody. And that's why I think the main basis of this video here on the membership access, the Main Event Mafia, the real basis of what I wanted to talk about in this video. And it's that sense of tribalism, that sense of negativity and toxicity in pro wrestling, namely with the fan base. I will say there have been times where some members of the WWE, or excuse me, some fans of the WWE and some fans of AEW, they kind of clash. There's this sense of one has to be better than the other, and I'm not a fan of it, honestly. I've never been a fan of the negativity. I was raised on the ideals that, hey, if you have nothing nice to say, don't even say it. There's no point in saying it. And so I see online I see the perception that AEW fans need to tear down the WWE and vice versa. WWE fans need to hate AEW, but it's counterproductive. We talk about building a community. We talk about the sense of unity, and it's just counterproductive to do that by tearing one another down. Pro wrestling right now is at the hottest it has been in the last century, in the last millennium, really. And I look at that and I say, why would you want to tear each other down? If one company is succeeding, that is forcing you as the alternative to improve, to get better. And in doing so, you're opening more opportunities for people to break into the business, whether they're a pro wrestler, whether they're a commentator, a ring announcer, a producer, TV rights. It's opening the door for more possibilities. And then you want to dive into the realm of the wrestling fan. I've always compared it to like a buffet. And I remember I had a conversation with someone in my family, and they said, your analogies always deal with food because we all love food. Who doesn't love food? It's like a buffet. I don't have to eat this if I don't like it. There's something out there that I like. There's something there for everybody. So maybe you're not a fan of the WWE style, but I guarantee you there's at least one or two stars there that you are invested in, that you have gravitated towards. And you're like, you know what? I may not be a fan of their style, but I'm a fan of this guy or girl. And it's the same thing with AEW. Maybe you're not a fan of their style, but there is something out there for everybody. Me coming into the world of pro wrestling, I grew up very much a fan of the WWE. Watched it the entirety of my life. Didn't really know a lot about the outside promotions upon growing, upon getting access to the internet. Shout out to mom and dad. I was open to a world where you had other promotions like Ring of Honor. So I got to see people like the Briscoes. I got to see people like Bryan Danielson and Samoa Joe. Then there was TNA wrestling, where I was opened up to other people like Sting, because I wasn't watching WCW as a king, was watching Sting, the Motor City Machine Guns, AJ Styles. And then you move on so forth to places like New Japan Pro Wrestling, GCW, CCW for like the hardcore wrestling fans. There's a little bit of something for everybody. Now, granted, is it kind of an overload? Yeah, there's a lot of content out there. I've said it in the past, there's so much content and not enough time in the day. But that's why it's up to the viewer, it's up to you guys to decide how you want to spend your time. And with that being said, first of all, I want to thank you guys for choosing to spend your time and hang out with us here, members of the J area, on the live streams, on the videos, on the podcast. It really does mean the world as we continue to grow as a community. I cannot ever stop voicing my appreciation for what you guys have been able to give me. And that's basically an opportunity to grow in a way that I didn't think was possible. I've made it known that I, was able to gain my degree in a bachelor's in communications with the hope of attaining a career in like sports media, and not a lot of opportunities were out there. It's a very competitive field, and at that point it became, well, if no one's going to have a door for me to go through, I'm just going to build my own door. And I feel like that's what we've been doing this last couple years, namely this last year. We've been able to build from the foundation an opportunity that opens up doors not only for myself but for other people as well. And I feel like that's very important, because me as an individual, I can win, right? But I feel like there's much more satisfying of a result by me winning and being able to bring more people with me. So it's no longer that I'm winning, but it's we are winning. That's what it's all about. We grew up in this house very big fans of sports, whether it's, football, basketball, baseball. So we've always had this value over a team effort, over a team winning. And it's because of people like you who are with us from beginning to end. The live streams, the podcasts, the shorts, memberships. It's because of you that we're able to do this day in and day out. And so far, it's been a blast. 2024 was fantastic. 2024 was phenomenal. 2025, I have a feeling it's going to be even better. We're off to a great start. In 2025, it's going to continue to grow. And with your guys' support, with the love you guys have sent our way here, we can't express enough gratitude or appreciation. So I want to thank you guys, of course, for joining me on today's kind of short video. I want to do more stuff like this where it's kind of intimate, kind of deep, just us talking. Because at the end of the day, it's really just a select few of us that are being able to see this video and to interact and share our thoughts. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this type of approach, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Comment down below your thoughts on the whole tribalism of pro wrestling. What are some takeaways? What are some opinions do you have when it comes to whether or not it's valid or whether or not maybe it's a little too extreme? I'd love to get your guys' take and opinion on the raging war between pro wrestling fans. And if you haven't already, make sure you spread the word about the Main Event Mafia. We've done great so far. We're continuing to move forward, so much appreciation. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. And as always, stay cool.